Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be taking you all through a really fun, really quick recipe. I'm going to be making some vegan carrot cake today, and unlike the last cake decoration video we did, this one we'll be going through the whole process from scratch. So we're going to make the batter, we're going to make the cake sponges, then we're going to make the frosting, we're going to do everything together. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to do are grate our carrots. I have some organic carrots here. Regular carrots will work just fine. Whatever is locally available to you, work with that, I would say. And yeah, I'm just going to start grating them. Alright, so I think that should be enough. We need about 2 1/3 cups, and I think that'll be enough for now. I'm just going to set it aside, and I'll keep everything as is just in case I need to grate up some more, but I think based on my judgment this should be fine. Alright, let's set it aside. Alright, so next up we're going to grease and line our baking pans today. I have 3 6-inch pans. You can also use 2 7-inch or 2 8-inch. Just remember that depending on the pans you use, your baking time will change a little bit. And we'll go over that once we put the cakes in the oven, but I'm going to go ahead, cut out my parchment paper, my baking paper to the size, and grease my pans. On the paper, to remember which side I've drawn on, so then when I put it inside, I'll remember to flip it over. Alright, so now I'm just going to spray them with my olive oil spray. I'm going to show you guys how I like to do it. So I'm going to grease them from all the sides, nice even coating. Then I'm going to put my parchment down, making sure that the crossed out section goes down. And now I'll grease it once more from the top, and that's done. Alright, so now that our pans are ready and the carrot is grated, we're going to preheat the oven to 180. And I've already done that. My oven is preheating, and in the meantime we're going to start putting our batter together. Now the best part about this recipe is that you just need one bowl to do everything, but I'm going to be using more than one bowl today only because I want to speed up the process. But you can literally have everything done in one bowl in no time. Alright, so first things first, we're going to start with making a flax egg. So I have a separate bowl over here, and I'm going to add my flaxseed meal to it along with some water. Let me just go grab that. Alright, so in our little bowl, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of this flaxseed meal or chia seed meal. So I have white chia seed meal here, but if you're living in India, you can probably also use sabza, which are basically basil seeds. It's the same thing, it's called sabza locally. You can also use ground up flaxseed, ground up chia seed, ground up sabza or basil seeds. They should all work fine. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of this. You can buy the seeds whole and then grind them up at home. That's what I like to do. So that way you also get freshly ground powders. And it also ends up being a little bit more affordable. Alright, to this we're going to add 6 tablespoons of water. So using the same spoon and just regular drinking water for measurement. Alright. Now that that's done, we're just going to give it a little stir. And as you can see, it's already starting to get quite lumpy and clumpy, which is good because this is going to act as our egg replacement, as a binder. So basically what eggs do in a batter is hold everything together, make it nice and sticky. So you have no kind of like sticking and gross like moisture around the sides of your pan when you flip your cake over. This is going to do exactly that. It's going to act as our egg. It's going to help hold everything together nicely, and it's going to be a really healthy substitute as well to eggs. Alright, so we're going to set that aside and we're going to start sifting in our dry ingredients into our big bowl, starting with some flour. Alright, so we're starting with 2 cups of flour. I'm using all-purpose here. You can use whole wheat if you like. Just remember that when you're using whole wheat flour, you will end up with a slightly denser cake. It's still going to taste really lovely. It's just going to be slightly different in texture. That's all. I would say for other substitutes, you could probably try this with oat flour, but again, you're going to have slightly different results. For an ideal fluffy light cake, I would say go for all-purpose. Especially since we're adding carrots into it, I would definitely not recommend using any kind of non-conventional flour in this one, because it's not a recipe that will be very forgiving. So there we go. I'm just going to shake the excess off. Right, I'm happy with that. I'm going to quickly sift that in. Alright, next we're going to be adding in our baking soda. Alright, so 1 teaspoon of baking soda followed by 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Alright, this is my baking powder. Next up, salt, half a teaspoon. Next we'll be adding in our spices, ginger, nutmeg and cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And 1 teaspoon of nutmeg. Just sifting it all in now. And I have some lumps of nutmeg in here. I'm just going to set that aside. I don't want too many of those going in. Right. Giving everything a stir. And that's it. Those are our dry ingredients. Alright, next up we're going to be adding our carrots and our brown sugar. So again, just make sure everything is well combined, because once you start adding in the wet ingredients, it's really difficult to get all those spices and baking powder and baking soda evenly distributed. Alright, just shaking that off. Setting my whisk aside, we'll be using a spatula after this. Because of the carrots, it'll be a little difficult to stir. 2 and 1/3 cup of carrots. I have a measuring cup here. I'm just adding my carrots in there. Next up, brown sugar. Alright, we need 1.5 cups of brown sugar. I have this organic, slightly dark brown sugar, but you can also use light brown or any other kind of sugar you have handy. Ideally brown sugar, because it's going to add like a really nice molasses-like flavor to your cake, which is what we want today. Let's add that in there. And we're just going to give it all a stir. Okay, looks like my bowl is a little small. I'm going to transfer everything to a bigger bowl, but it won't be clear. But I think you guys know what's going on in there. Alright, so I'm using the bowl to my stand mixer. Just going to put everything in here. It's much better. Alright. Super fast now. We're going to set it aside, and now we're going to start combining our liquid ingredients in this bowl. Alright, so now we're going to start combining the liquid ingredients, starting with some oil. We're going to pour in about 1/2 cup in here. I'm using cold pressed sunflower oil, but any vegetable oil should work, any flavor that you prefer. Olive oil also tastes really good. So to make this a one bowl recipe, you can directly put everything in the same bowl. I'm just going to do it separately to make sure that it combines evenly, but you don't need to be that careful about this step. Alright. Next up, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. There we go. And finally 1 teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Alright, I'm just gonna give this all a quick little whisk. Looks like my whisk is too big, but this should work. Buttermilk strategies. Alright, that's well combined. We're gonna add that in here. Using my spatula now to just combine everything nicely. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to add my flax egg in here. Really become nice and goopy. Alright, so I'm also going to add a little bit of almond milk in here. I'm going to measure it out and then add it in. Alright, so I scraped down my bowl completely and I poured my batter into these 3 prepared dishes. And just make sure to tap everything down nicely. And now we're going to put everything in the oven. Oven is done preheating. Alright, so we're going to bake these now for 24 to 28 minutes at 190 to 180 degrees Celsius. Alright, so the cakes are out of the oven and I'm just going to flip them over and refrigerate them, and we'll finish frosting them as soon as they've cooled down completely, which will take around 2 hours at room temperature or 1 hour in the refrigerator. Alright guys, so the cakes are completely cool now and they're ready to be stacked and frosted. So let's start the process with first making our frosting. Today we're going to make a really nice light tangy dairy-free whipped cream topping. So I know that the traditional carrot cakes have a cream cheese topping, but I feel like since these cakes are quite rich and decadent on their own, and we'll be making a really yummy salted caramel jaggery syrup as well to soak these in, I think a nice light dairy-free frosting is the best way to go to frost these. But if you have a go-to cream cheese frosting recipe, a vegan cream cheese frosting recipe, then definitely swap this one out for that. But I'll be taking you all through the steps to make that dairy-free whipped topping. So let's start with grabbing the bowl of my stand mixer. And to this, I'll be adding the whipped topping cream in here. Make sure that you give it a good stir to get everything well combined before you start whipping it up. So we're not going to use the whole container. You need about 1 cup of the cream. I'm just pouring it in here. And I'm happy with that. Alright, gonna set this aside. Alright, next ingredient going in is gonna be some lemon juice, which is gonna give us that nice tang. So I'm adding half of this in there, squeezing it thoroughly. Alright, setting it aside. Alright, next will be our sweetener. So this is lightly sweetened, but I would say you need to add some sweetener separately as well. So it balances out the cake and adds that nice little sweetness as well. So I'm adding some powdered sugar, but I'm just going to sift it out to make sure that it goes in there evenly. Alright. Next up, we're going to add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And a pro tip, the cap of your vanilla bottle usually measures up to around 1 teaspoon. So I'm just going to use that today and add 1 teaspoon in. Alright. And that's ready to go. I'm going to set it up in my stand mixer and I'll give you guys a close-up view so you can take a look how it whips up. So now we're just going to take the speed up a little bit we're going to let it go for around 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, so we're just adding a teaspoon of cinnamon in here, and we're going to give it another mix. And that looks well done, fluffy and ready. So it started the process. That is a very satisfying sound. Alright, almost done. Alright, happy with that? Alright, so I'm just going to spoon all the extra whipping cream into this piping bag. It's ready. Now let's start piping it up. Okay. Do little flowers. Alright, so we can also do a few rosettes in here. And then we're good. We're going to fill it with some of this lovely jaggery syrup. I'm happy with that. And finally, some of this crumb. Alright, final touches. We're just going to dust it with some cinnamon. Just helping all that lovely piping work stand out. And yeah, that's it. That's the cake. I hope you guys had fun making this with me. I had a blast making this with you guys. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. And stay tuned.